Hello ladies and gentlemen, happy holidays. I hope you're all doing very well. My name is Troy Harrison Chriest, but my subscribers just call me THC. I guess today I am Troy Harrison Christmas because I am breaking down my picks for the best Christmas movies of all time. This is of course my opinion and I lean towards comedies, so you might not see a bunch of dramatic or very old films on this list. How about we start with my favorite and work our way down? After leaving a like and subscribing, let me know your favorite holiday movie in the comments below. Alright, number 1 is A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. If you have never seen any of the Harold and Kumar movies like White Castle or Escape from Guantanamo, they follow two friends, typically with one simple goal that never really goes to plan. In the first movie, they just want to get some burgers, only after a ridiculous amount of strange situations like getting their car stolen by Neil Patrick Harris do they finally achieve their mission. A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas follows this same formula, only this time they need a new Christmas tree after burning down the family decorated one in a pretty funny accident. I won't spoil it, but you gotta watch it. Like Jay and Silent Bob before them, they are the perfect comedy duo. The over-chill and never-worried Kumar is played by Kal Penn, and the ever-anxious and uptight Harold is played by John Cho. There are also plenty of great supporting actors like Danny Trejo and Thomas Lennon, as well as cameos from people like Patton Oswalt, the RZA, literally the leader of the Wu-Tang Clan, is in this movie, and of course, Neil Patrick Harris. These have always been unpredictable movies, and it was great to see these characters in a Christmas setting. A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas is obviously very nostalgic for me, that's why it is my number 1 Christmas movie of all time. If you have seen it, let me know what your favorite scene is. Alright, let's move on. Alright, number 2 is Deck the Halls. Released in 2006 and directed by John Whitesall, Deck the Halls is a classic that still makes me laugh every time I see it. The two stars of the film, Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, are pitted against each other in a neighborly competition to be Mr. Christmas. Basically, Matthew Broderick's character, Steve Finch, has been known around town as the guy who goes all out for Christmas every year. But when Buddy Hall moves in with his gorgeous family, the town starts to give him all of the attention and none to Mr. Finch. So basically, it's an hour and a half with them competing to have more Christmas spirit. A simple plot, but it is a very funny movie. It's a family favorite in my house. It's a hilarious example of how men can be overly competitive over something that doesn't even matter. Sound familiar, gamers? I know. But with only a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb, I don't think that score really defines what a fun film this is. You have most likely already seen it, but if not, give it a watch this holiday season. Alright, number 3, Christmas with the Cranks. I know it is another comedy, but wouldn't you rather laugh this holiday season than just watch some snowmen sing? I know I would. This movie follows Luther and Nora Crank, who decide to go on a vacation, not participate in Christmas, or throw their annual party, because their daughter Blair is not coming home for the holidays. What I love about this movie is during the beginning when the entire town is gearing up for the holidays and people start slowly harassing Luther for not being festive, he doesn't donate to the police holiday fund, he doesn't buy a tree or put up lights, and the town starts to treat him like Ebenezer Scrooge. It's really funny, I like it. If you haven't seen it, I will not spoil the ending because you might love it. Also, Christmas with the Cranks has one of the funniest movie cops of all time, Officer Celino, played by Cheech Marin. Alright, number 4 on the list is Elf. Some of you might be thinking, wow, finally Troy, are you just thinking of that? Maybe you think Elf should be higher on this list. You're probably right, but this is my list. Go make your own YouTube video. Of course, starring the effortlessly funny Will Ferrell, he plays an elf named Buddy who travels from the North Pole to New York. But you already knew that because we have all seen this movie about 10 times. Am I right? How many times have you seen Elf? Seriously. This film is beloved by many and has a much higher IMDb score than the others so far with a 6.9 out of 10. For 2003, Elf had a pretty low budget of $33 million to make the movie, but it ended up making $222 million in the box offices worldwide. That is insane. It was an incredibly successful movie that might deserve a sequel. Would you watch Elf 2? I would. Alright, number 5 is Home Alone. Another great film that arguably could have been higher on this list. It was released on November 16th in 1990. This would be a smash hit, spawning less successful sequels. Starring Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister, the story follows a boy who is accidentally left in New York City while his family goes on vacation. He has to navigate the big city and eventually dealing with a few wacky robbers that provide most of the slapstick comedy for the movie. It made a whopping $285 million, while its sequel Home Alone 2, also a decent movie, but not on the list, made $173 million. That is insane money for a Christmas movie. Wow. On a side note, Macaulay Culkin was one of the few child stars to not grow up as a crazy egomaniac. That's a big accomplishment. Do you guys agree with my spot for Home Alone? Let me know in the comments. Alright, number 6. The Polar Express. We finally have our first animated film and our first non-comedy. The Polar Express was the outstanding story of a boy and a girl who get on a train to the North Pole and learn many valuable lessons on the way. That's honestly my summary of it. You got a better one? I don't know. It had unbelievable animation for its time, and with Tom Hanks voicing the conductor, Santa, Scrooge, and many others, it is definitely worth a watch in December. Directed by Robert Zemeckis and based off of the book by Chris Van Ellsberg, this was the perfect movie to revitalize Christmas animations. I know I talk with my hands a lot, for the record, I know that too. This was another one of those Christmas blockbusters, raking in a cool $309 million. Wow. I mean, I love the Polar Express. Maybe you do too. Okay, number 7. A Nightmare Before Christmas. This might be one of the creepiest animated movies I have ever seen. Nonetheless, it is a terrifyingly interesting Christmas film directed by Tim Burton and music by Danny Elfman, who both worked together on Batman in 1989. This half horror, half musical follows Jack Skellington as he tries to bring Christmas to his home of Halloween Town. This came out in 1993, and they chose an extremely difficult way to animate it, but it turned into a masterpiece. While companies like Warner Brothers were drawing their cartoon movies, the animation team led by Pete Kozachich, probably mispronounced that, they were using models and decided to go with stop motion. I sat through a lecture of his at my college where he talked about how difficult some of those effects were to manage back in 1993. It really was an odd film that won over the hearts of fans and critics alike, but it did not originally sell very well at the box office. With a budget of $18 million, they made about $50 million during the box office release, a relative success, but not really what they were hoping for. For the parents out there, I would recommend you do not watch this with young kids who might scare easily. Leave a like if that green boogeyman gave you nightmares back in the day. God, what a spooky green boy. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that. My number 8 favorite Christmas film of all time is The Santa Claus, the first one. Definitely not the Jack Frost one, the original. Yes, another classic Tim Allen flick hits our list. It was released in 1994 and directed by John Paskin. This dorky movie honestly still holds up today. So pretty much Scott Calvin accidentally kills the real Santa Claus and is magically turned into the next in line to be old Saint Nick. The Santa Claus is when one Santa dies and a new Santa will be given to the closest person to him. It is kind of like when a Green Lantern dies and the ring goes off to find a new protector. I know, pretty nerdy, but yeah, it's that story but for Christmas. Anyways, he gets super fat, grows white hair, and hilariously must take on the duties of our favorite chubby house invader who leaves gifts and eats cookies. Is that really the line I wrote? I'm leaving it. Whatever. Moving on. Number 9. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You have to have a certain type of old school humor to really enjoy National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I have not watched this in about 10 years, but what I do remember is it being raunchy, sarcastic, and an outright good time to watch. This came out December 1st, right before Christmas of '89. It was written by the vastly talented John Hughes, famous for The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It also stars a young Chevy Chase, one of the top 20 funniest comedic actors of all time. 10 out of 10. So yeah, it's about a family with a quirky dad who is set on having a really big Christmas, but it doesn't go quite to plan. Like many others on this list, it had a relatively small budget of about $15 million, but it would go on to be a huge profit, hitting $60 million at the box office before the holidays started. Thank you guys for watching so far. Please smash that subscribe button. We're almost done here. Number 10. Alright, finally, last on my list of top 10 Christmas movies of all time is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey live-action version. Yes, we all love the 66 cartoon, but Jim Carrey just brings such a funny take on the character. I mean, I had to put it on the list. No, I have not seen the new animated version directed by Scott Mosier, but I am looking forward to, because I listened to a podcast he does with Kevin Smith. You guys might have heard of it. It's called Smodcast. But when I think back to the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas, what I really liked about it as a kid was the art direction on the various environments like downtown Whoville, the houses, and the Grinch's cave. It was a colorful yet mature take on the character of the Grinch, and I think they did a great job with it for the effects available in 2000. But if you guys saw the new Grinch movie, let me know how you guys thought it was. Alright, that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching so much. Do me a favor and subscribe right now. Turn on bell icons, tell a friend. Maybe go check out some of my gaming content, my live streams, tutorials, or 4K documentaries. I have a ton of videos on YouTube. Go browse around. Alright guys, my name is THC. I've been Troy Harrison Chriest. Enjoy the rest of your winter. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Peace.